You have people like Jeff Bezos these days who says he gets 8 hours of sleep. And then you get people like Elon Musk who says he gets about 5 or 6 hours of sleep. By the way, my rating today, I'm only at a 79. I got 5 hours, 57 minutes of sleep last night.
Okay.
But my question to you is, this new ring that you've got is tracking so many more things. And the long-term question about using these kind of wearables is how much you think it's ultimately going to change behavior, but also whether you think there's opportunities for business leaders, because I know a lot of investors are now looking at like how people are behaving throughout the day, whether you think we're all going to be tracked and whether that's okay.
Yeah, no, look, I think that part of the question, Andrew, and thanks for having me on the show, is definitely an important one. I think ultimately people want to be better at what they do, and better health allows them to do that, right? If you sleep better, you're going to be sharper on the show, right? I'm going to be better doing this interview, even though it's 4 a.m. in California. And I think for us as a company, we've always gone to giving people actionable information that helps them change behavior, right? And looking at your sleep patterns, starting to look more at activity, as you mentioned, illness, even now new features with women's health allows people to do that. On the corporate side, I think, frankly, we've seen that sort of change. I think the mentality is like, no, we need to empower our employees more, right? We need to give them more benefits. We need to have them be at their top potential, right? And so, and I think we've seen frameworks, we've actually done something with the NBA and the NBPA, that allows people to actually share their information in a very protective way, where it's anonymous, it's aggregated just to a risk score in our perspective. Let's sort of employers see trends and without actually seeing the individual person's data. And I think those kind of frameworks are going to be helpful in the future. And, everyone wants to be healthier, right? It makes you feel better, you perform better. And I think employers
do you think how much of this turns into a competition over time among people? And obviously, you have people like Jack Dorsey and Mark Benioff who are wearing these rings around. And now you're seeing competitions happening online between Kim Kardashian and Gwyneth Paltrow. They're sharing their information. Who's got the most sleep, the deepest sleep, the lowest heart rate?
Look, I think people are competitive, right? They're competitive about their stocks in their portfolio or their fantasy football teams, right? So I think you're going to get sort of competition no matter what. We do write our messages, really focused, and all of our data, the way we calculate the scores is to the individual. It's back to your baseline and how you're doing. So, we actually adapt to you. And, I think we've written all those messages for people not to be so competitive, but really take a look at themselves. And so, I think we've taken that balance as much as we can. But frankly, I think, if people are competitive about their health, I'd rather have them be competitive about their health than something else that might be bad for them.
You used to work in the hedge fund industry, and I know an asset allocator, a big asset allocator, who told me recently, he said, I want to ask the portfolio managers to wear Oura rings so that I can track them to figure out whether performance is related. Do you think performance is really related?
Absolutely. I think if you look at the research, there's even studies going back to sleeping great.
But stock picking performance. Do you think that we would find that portfolio managers that have lower heart rates and sleep more actually perform better in the market?
Yeah, you make better decisions. I think when you're well rested, your reaction time, your level of clarity of thinking, right, you're not under stress, and so you're able to actually process that information and frankly react to it better. And think through a little bit clearer. So I think, we've seen some of the biggest hedge fund owners, actually recommend and get products for their teams.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.